is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pitstop, the Memorial Day edition of the Pitstop. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the pit crew. You know you guys are the real star of the show because you were here to hang out with me and talk about sim racing and what's going on in our world of sim racing motorsports. Hope you had a great weekend. For those in the United States, the weekend lives on through today. Today is Memorial Day, so I want to take a really quick moment to honor Memorial Day. And I think in the modern society, we lose sight of history sometimes. We lose sight of things that are very important to our countries. And I say this across the world because I know today is Memorial Day in the United States. But I don't care where you are, because wherever you are, there are people who serve for you in a great many ways. And in the case of Memorial Day, it's thinking of our troops and people who have served to protect our country. If you're in a different country, you have the same situation, I'm sure. And I'm sure you have a day that you honor your veterans, your soldiers. Many people in our audience, chances are, if you're in the United States, you know somebody who has maybe even given their life, maybe a grandfather, a son. It could be any generation. So I just want to take a moment and it, at 3 o'clock, I believe, is when everybody's supposed to take a moment to honor. So at 3 p.m., if you want to, look at the clock and take a moment to just give a little respect. And this year, I have to really, it's in remembrance of thanks for those who have died serving their countries. And I believe that for every country it is true. So, not to be confused. Yes, for those living. Thank you. I'm getting corrections on particulars. Memorial Day isn't supposed to be happy because it's for remembrance of those who have died. Right. Not to be confused with Veterans Day, which is for thanking those who serve currently. Thank you. Let's get that straight. I could have put up the Shaun Cole disclaimer there just to do it. But in this Memorial Day, I do feel like we have to extend things one step further because we, in the world, we have a new crisis, and there are people who are serving in new ways and unfortunately sacrificing even their lives, stepping forward to save and help others. So, I just, I want to applaud isn't really, it's more like one of these kind of things. So, anyway, I hope if you're having the day off, like I am, like many of us are, that at least part of your day, a moment of your day will be there in honor of those. So, that's how I'd like to start today's show. And I guess it is on a slightly somber note. But again, I think it's important. And again, I'm not trying to single out the United States in this way because I feel like wherever you are in the world, there are people who this applies to. And maybe today isn't the day that your country honors them. But honestly, I honor those for your nations as well. That's just, it's really amazing what people have done for right. And for the right side of things. Anyway. That is where today begins. And why today? I almost wasn't going to have a show. Today's technically a holiday. And, again, with the current news and everything going on, in the United States, I've seen so much more focus on it being a holiday weekend, meaning go to the beach, go party, go rage, go have fun. And, that's really not the purpose of the day, to be honest with you. Anyway, I hope I said that all right. I hope you get my sentiment and my feelings on that one. So, with that, we transition back to sim racing, and there's been a lot of tail off in the ESport world, which is nice. I think we're getting back to a normal. We're getting back to normal for sim racing, where I think we're going to hear a lot more news about the things that we've covered prior to all this. And again, I'm seeing a slowdown in the ESport Pro. We never really came up with a word that satisfied me for what to call that level. Because when I think pro, I think of our pro eSport drivers. I think you know what I mean. So what was the name of this new pro that is now going to be the former pro, the past pro? But I do, excuse me, wow, Brady. I do predict a handful of series sticking around. I do predict them coming back to this in the off season at some point in the future. That might be asking a lot of drivers who you know want their time off as well, but I could see them doing some promotional preseason eSport events to capitalize on the early rush to this. So if you think about the first weekends of all of these eSports, the ratings were through the roof, and I think we've probably seen a pretty sharp decline week by week would be my prediction. If they go back to normal, we go back to normal, and in 12 months from now, F1 was to have a big pro race before the season, it would really, really do well. And Tom, exactly, I really, really like seeing and hearing about the concept of retired drivers sticking around and now competing online. And quite honestly, it could lead to, and think about this concept, guys like Emerson, guys like Mario, if that became kind of one of the normals, I think that people would tune in. I also think it's an opportunity for them to rebrand themselves again and all of a sudden see themselves selling a little more merchandise than they were over the last decade. I could also see a handful of all-star events happening in the future post-season. I think it would be safe to say that we might even see more guest appearances by some of the ones who've done very well into some of our other one-off races and things that are going on. So yeah, I do think we're seeing the beginning of the slowdown, and things will go back to normal. You know, Tom mentions he thought it was really cool being able to race against Richie Hearn, and that's one thing that sim racing's given us for many, many years, and now there's been an increase in that. If you run in Lionheart, you can run against Sage Karam on a normal basis. Running into pros on iRacing servers has become a fairly normal experience for people right now, depending on the series that you run. And I think that's been an added fun for sure for sim racing over this period of time. So, all right, iRacing. This is Job. Job returns to the top of the Porsche Tag Heuer ESport Super Cup podium at Donington. Again, all of the links to everything we're going to talk about are down there below. If you want to follow along, if you want to read more about it, they're there for you. They're almost even in the same order. Not perfect, but close. Tom Jones. Tom Jones. Jan and Peter were impressive. You know, some of them have been very impressive, and some of them have not. Is that a fair assessment? My coffee's a little too sweet and a little too cold. No, Jeff, you have not missed that. Talam Design. Where's my... What is... Subbing on Twitch. Thank you. I'm a little slow on that stuff still. Alonso was impressive. Alright, so there you go. They, top of the podium in Super Cup. Excuse me. iRacing. Alright, so now we're at the Twitter. I went back to the last time we were on the air, and we're just going to scroll through it, see if anything looks good. Yeah, Porsche's at Donington, right? We know, because we already talked about Job. Yeah, it is viral. It is. Red Bull ESport, another perfect start from G2 Sebi. That's Logitech guy. Yes, back-to-back wins for G2 Sebi. What a drive. Nice looking shot of a Porsche right there, by the way. Porsche Motorsport, Seb wins both races in the Super Cup. Strong finish round 3, Tag Heuer Super Cup from Josh Rogers. There's our final results. Michael, cold and bitter. I like mine hot and sweet. Here's a post from Sebastian. Yes, double race win at Donington to bounce back from the last round. Now P2 in standings after 3 rounds. What else? Race control, team off track. That's I saw this all over the place this weekend. By the way, the Elliott and what's his name? What's that other guy's name? Earnhardt, something like that. Hinchcliffe posting about the race. Will Power posting about the Indy race. We already talked about the Porsche. Yep. Oh, James Hinchcliffe. Over $4,600 were raised for Riley Children's, a 3-wide photo finish in the #1 trend in Indianapolis. They ran a Better Half Invitational. And I don't know who. Anyway, there you go. You're here for this, SR. Yeah, TFR. Ty Majeski, Rattler, I don't know what that is. Alright, that's all we have from them. That's all. Kentucky, rescanned. That's really loud. At least now I can hear what you guys hear, which is really... Ooh, what's that lucky box? The track, Kentucky Speedway, rescanned. Do I have to pay for rescan? Okay, that's enough of that. That's Kentucky. I know we talked about this on Friday, but just a reminder, the USF 2000 and Indy Pro 2000 are going to be available in the next build. I can't hear you. I can hear the song that goes with the USF 17 here. Yeah, I think we played that on Wednesday, but just a reminder. And again, the link for everything's down there if you want to check it out. We did mention that, but it's kind of a big deal. M4 was confirmed, according to Josh. I'm not sure. Race department. SRO. So I was supposed to run, or I got an invite to be in the SRO GT Rivals. But it was on really short notice on a weekend that I had other obligations already there. And there's only one more race in the series. So it's like, well, I'm not sure I should even bother doing that at this point. But they had their whole SRO ESport GT series and championships and other ones running, so we got that. The GT World Champs, GT Rival, ESport action heads to Bathurst. Oh, I should have run Bathurst. Brad. GT World Challenge tuned to win. We've all got things to give away today. All we got to do is watch the stream. We missed out on that. Alright. World Challenge America starting lineup. High Cotter. Ooh. Big. That's the big boys. Thank you, Neo Knight. Thank you for that. Kentucky rescan is free if you already own it. No, we're not doing burpees. I don't have any room for burpees. No, the burpee deal does not... Tom is a known liar. Tom is known for over 1,800 misinformation tactics during our stream. Just so you all know. I've counted. GT World Challenge America video there. So, okay, I missed out. I didn't get to do it. R Factor 2, they had the FIA Formula E. Oh, is this no? We're The FIA Formula E Race at Home Challenge is a special one today. First official race on newly released Berlin E-Prix, which we talked about, the track that came out. I think we talked about that on the 21st. How quick can the real Formula E stars and sim racing pros adapt to this? Formula Boo. A 5K? Oh my god. I don't know if I could do 5K. I'm amazingly determined. It was a tactic, Boki. I might have something on that laser. Hold on. I'm going to have to jump ahead. I almost want to tease. Okay, can we come back to... We're going to come back to Formula E. Forget that I mentioned Formula E. Nobody say anything. I don't know. At 3 miles. Yeah, but it would be really sad. It would be... Imagine Burns from Simpsons. And imagine him doing 3 miles. I could do 3 miles if I did it like him from the beginning. Alright. We're going to come back to Formula E. Dirt. They're just getting started on revealing everything coming to Dirt. And trust us, you won't see some of this coming. You're not... Trust us. So May, the Dirt 5 vibe is what they've been giving us. Getting that Dirt 5 vibe, moving on. June, they're going to start spelling out career modes. That's what we have to look forward to. And you won't see some of this coming. That's their words, not mine. Okay, have you had Solberg? Oh, have you done the Solberg World Cup yet? Head to America this weekend over Oliver Solberg's Dirt Rally Club event, May 11th through 24th, so that means it's over. Could have done New England. Did any of you do it? Game of the Year edition. Anybody do it? Oh, I should never have said that when Joe was in the room. Oh, I have to go all the way to the beach. Oh, I don't think, Brandon, I don't think they're gonna have VR in Dirt 5. My guess is no. But what? Hey, but trust us, you won't see some of this coming. Oh, maybe you won't see it because it's VR. Oh. If it has to be won by the Dude Bro edition. I'll be fine if it's Oculus. That's what I still run. Remember your roots, 20 Colin McGray. Yeah. Both in terms. Dirt 5. Yep, that's OG. Okay, Formula 1. They had their ESport Weekend and more screenshots on the 23rd. We were live on the 22nd, so we haven't seen these. It looks beautiful. I saw that picture already. We talked about the rake on the cars and the need for them to get downforce and front grip, I'm assuming. What else? Virtual GP. Yep, so drivers talking about the virtual GP. Here's Pierre Gasly doing a hot lap at Monaco. Here's an F1 2020 lap around Monaco. So this is the new game. I can't see anything. Theodore, I choose the next Forza over Dirt 5. Alright, so we're getting little shots of the game. Here's Max Verstappen doing a lap at Monaco with a few cameras. I think that's a wise assessment, Joa. Alright, that's cool. I like that. Formula One. It's Monaco, baby. Last time we had some incredible lap drama. The win was taken by George Russell. I love listening to proper announcing. When people ask me to announce races, honestly, I'm sitting there going, yeah, but that's what it should sound like. So Scuderia Bassani, no, they won't have me this year. No F1 2020. So I've alluded to, and I think that there's no better candidate for a Madden-esque game than... Thank you, Dave Blair.
And for the first time in virtual Grand Prix, it's a win for George Russell. Gutierrez could get P2 here as well. So Gutierrez very much... Oh, he's close. No, he's not going to do it. Charles Leclerc P2. Esteban Gutierrez is in P3. Alex Albon's strategy gamble didn't work. And what a twist on the last lap. It's George Russell who takes the win. His first win since Abu Dhabi back in Formula 2 back in 2018. And, well, we had to try all of the roguish tricks in the book.
Practice announcing? You mean with the wording, with the timing, or with the accent? Which aspect, Tom? Getting back to the previous topics Scuderia Bassani brought up. If F1 series has become the most Madden-esque sim, what years do you buy it on? Because I'll be the first to admit, I grew up on games, which means I played Madden before they numbered stuff. And then I played Madden 2, 3, 4, and then at some point, and I don't remember, I broke ranks. And I don't know if it was a 1 year off and then back, or was it 2 years off, or was it 1 year off, 1 year on, 2 years off, 1 year on, 3 years off, 1 year on, and then I completely forgot about it entirely. British accent announcement. I don't have an accent, you guys.
Gutierrez could get P2 here as well.
So Gutierrez, I can't do an accent. I can't even try. It would be far too embarrassing and horrible. All right, moving on quickly. Moving on. You buy F1 games when they're $4.99 or less on Steam or on Humble Bundle. Original. You invented tic-tac-toe. That makes you pretty damn old, Dave. Jason Vanderwerf. Going back to this, I watched the footwork by Max, and then let's talk about an F1 car. I'd love to see some footwork of Max in his real F1 car and compare the two. Hold on, let me turn this down. It seems a little loud. Whoop. Sarcade. Oh my God. Jeff, that was genius. If you would like a Simpit sticker, you send me an email, Shaun, SHAUN at thesimpit.com. Give me your address. Tell me if you want black, blue, orange, or white. Man, that is well played. Very funny. Sarcade. Right there. That was the one that made me really think. Watch him get back on the gas coming out of the chicane. Oh, no. It's okay. Hold on. I don't think we're elitists. We're making fun. Awesome. SHAUN at thesimpit.com. Tell me what color. No, Brad. No, I certainly am not trying to be a sim elitist. But I think humor is certainly valid and funny. So Sarcade is very funny. But questioning what level of sim, I look at the footwork and I'm like, wow, it just seems like that throttle could be an on and off switch. I saw him blip it once in watching it. But anyway, F1 2020, F1 series is what it is. And I totally embrace it for what it is. Now, there are things that I think they could have done better over the years to cater to a certain level of the sim racing market, mostly revolving around things like sim controls. I don't expect every game to be some over-the-top simulator at all. But I do expect them to all support the controls known to a very... It's not that complicated a world, the sim racing world, when it comes to controllers. It's like, all right, if you're Codemasters, you have to acknowledge in 2020, you have to acknowledge a handful of things, in my opinion. And VR I'll still leave as an option. But if you're going to make a PC game, and Codemasters is no stranger to PC games, you have to acknowledge that at this point in time, people use more than one controller. And that some controllers need a certain amount of adjustment over the game. Boom. That's not that hard to understand, and 99 out of 100 games that do driving understand that. You also have to understand that triple screens is part of gaming. Across the board. That's not just only in sim racing. So I kind of feel that yes, they deserve a little bit of clowning because they don't do a certain level of what I consider is their job. Now, and everyone can tell me I'm wrong, by the way. I am not trying to force my opinion on you. I'm just stating how I feel about it, to be honest with you. I mean, if you think differently, feel free to jump in, and I'm not going to contradict you at all, because everybody is totally entitled to their opinion. But yeah, I feel like if you're going to make a motorsport title and you're going to support even one wheel, then come on, then just bust it open. I mean, it's not that much harder. Camp, I don't know. Maybe it is that much harder. I don't know. All right. Anyway, but they're racing. They had all sorts going on at Monaco. I think that's what we were talking about. They're race at home. Mexico. I thought we were at Monaco. Okay, but hold on. F1 Codemasters. Okay, so let's go back in the Wayback Machine. I don't know, but was F1 2012? What was the first year? Where Wikipedia. Codemasters F1 game. So my 2010, was it 2010? I'm not finding F1 2010 game. Thank you. All right. Oh, it was on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox on the first one. Okay, forgive me. I just thought the original was only on the PC. So no, they did all of them from the very, very beginning. It was on the Wii. All right, but Codemasters, Codemasters used to make games that weren't just sim games. If you really think back, at some point, and I don't remember the year, but it might have been very close to the timing of F1 2010. They literally publicly announced that they were going to be only a sim company, a motorsport game company. So I feel like, yes, I understand they're made for the masses, and I completely agree with that comment. I was just wondering if the original was even on the others. They've been doing it long enough that, and these are things that have been ongoing. It can't be. I mean, if every other sim does it, I don't understand why they can't. Wreckfest manages to do it, and that's a little indie company. How many employees do you think Codemaster has? Wikipedia Codemasters. Codemasters in 2019 reported having 700 employees. I think that they could allocate some manpower to having proper controller and triple screen support. That's all I'm asking for. 1,393. Tom Jones, fake news. Okay. Let's move along. We are not here to bash Codemasters. That is not the point of today's show. Epic has 3,320, but Epic also makes the most successful game ever made, don't they? All right. So all the teams are posting in anticipation of the stay-at-home race. Ferrari's posting it. Here we have Perez. What's he saying? Oh, they talking smack? And Louis Fonzi. Is he? Who's Louis Fonzi? Boki, I'm not gonna say it's the only thing it's not the only thing that I like Cody's for, but if I judged Codemasters by the Dirt series alone, they're one of my favorite companies. Yes. All right. He's a musician. Thank you, TFR. All right. Then we've got Formula One game. Pros show us how it's done around Monaco in tonight's exhibition race. Here's the driver lineup. These are all sim racers, aren't they? These are all the sim racers for the pro exhibition race. All right. And here we go. Oh, Toniza, Brandon Lay, Boramond. Yellow flag. Less than 5 minutes of qualifying. Not sure. Grabbing the pole. Here we go. Grabbing the pole. Toniza. Boramond into second. Lay in third. There's the more formal looking one. And lights out. No heroics. The race starts. Here we go. Oh, listen to this.
Is underway. Toniza from pole position. Brendan Lee with a much better getaway though, straight up into the lead. And then Lucas Blakely trying to follow through as well, not
Look at them going at it. Oh, little bump there. Little bump. Little wall scrape ride. Oh! Hey, changed camera right at the right time there, I think. It looks awesome. You know, I'll tell you what, people who don't sim race, who are sitting at home watching this is looking pretty good here today. That was looking pretty good. Was it not? Alright, so what's going on? Monaco Crown, do you guys want to know? Do you want to know? Blakely. Toniza. Lee. He called him Lee. Monaco, and then we've got the pros. Leclerc. Lando Norris. Alright. What went on there? And we're going to have qualifying, I'm assuming. There are links here, by the way. I have the link to all this down there. Right. They have links to all of these posts that are here. So, you know, this is being the qualifying. Charles Leclerc in the lead. Louis Fonzi in the last. Lando's a 9th. And qualifying finished with this. Fittipaldi in the front, George Russell in second, David Schumacher in third. Oh, look at Schumacher. And, ooh, I see rain. Fittipaldi on the pole in the wet. Here we go.
And we're underway with Pietro Fittipaldi on the left, George Russell on the right. The lights are out and we're underway around the streets of Monte Carlo with George Russell looking like he's close to the lead. Has he managed to keep it there? Will they all manage to get through Sandoval unscathed just about? But there was an issue for Liuzzi in the background. It's frantic up the hill, but George Russell's got the lead.
Oh, yeah. What a nightmare. He got away too. All right. Not much over taking at Monaco apparently. Had to try a little bit of hargy-bargy. See, if you do race announcing, you get to have your famous quotes, right? Oh, Dave Blair. Have a good one, buddy. All right, fast lap of the race, and George Russell with the lead, and it's George Russell who takes the win.
This has not been one of them. George Russell dominates on the streets of Monte Carlo to win the... And look at the margin he had across the line by nearly 40 seconds. It's his second virtual Grand Prix win in a row.
Yeah, a little bit easier, huh? It's easy to look good when you can just bounce off the walls. Laps led 39. Gap 40 seconds. Concern 0. That'll do P1. Free trial. That's all we got. Okay, moving right along. Mr. Girth Brooks. What's up, Girth Brooks? It's going well, man. How you doing? Stuart Haas ESport, we have a winner. Congratulations to Donnie388 on winning the Abruzzi USA NASCAR Heat prize pack. Any of you enter? I pushed you all to enter. Did you? Did you? Are any of you Donnie388? GTA Racing. And then they're posting about their championships. So here's things are looking after the 5th race of the NASCAR Heat. This is the big boys. Germain Gaming, Chip Ganassi, Wood Brothers are our top 3 teams in the team championship. And happy birthday, Joey Logano, on May 24th, in case you wanted to know. And here are driver championships. Why do they post these things twice? That's really weird. With Daniel Buttafuoco leading on this, the Xbox competition. 40 points, Nick Walker in second, and Lewis Zader in third. On the PS4 side of things, Kyle Arnold, Maxwell Castrol, and Josh Harbin are our top 3. And my favorite, I need to get a jersey or something, Slade Glavitt. He finds himself in 7th on the Xbox One side. GT Sport posted their replays of the Salzburg Manufacturer Series Grand Finale and Nations Cup races. You can check that out through the link at the GT Sport link down below. We already talked about 159 coming and that concept. We talked about the Mazda AMG Vision car in the newest build coming up. Very soon. Very soon. Ooh. Fishing and kayaking. That sounds awesome. Wait, did you now, Girth, did you combine the two? Or were these separate activities? Was this like fishing from a fishing boat or from a shore? Or was this fishing from a kayak? And then, if you weren't fishing from the kayaking, are you talking about like doing some miles up a mellow stream or lake? Or are you talking about sealed in plunging kayaking? Can I take on the Slade nickname? Slade. This is Slade Cole coming to you with your sim racing report. You can't compete with that name. No, you can't. That guy's gonna be like valedictorian and prom king. And now it's like Howard Cosell. I don't think I do impersonations very well. I really don't. Unfortunately. I would, maybe I could, but I'd have to really... I'm not a guy who could just nail it. I would have to work on it and work on it. This is Howard Cosell. I don't know. Was that even in the ballpark? This is Slade Cole. I like just the idea of making up a new persona more than Slade Cole could be my Dr. Whatever. I will give Slade an entire care package if he ever shows up legitimately here. We'd have to be able to somehow verify. But anyway, all right. What else? What do we got? WRC, 22nd. We missed this. This happened after the show. Be sure to check out the official WRC shootout Rally to Portugal quarterfinals on their Facebook page. That was back on like Friday. James, I try. I'm so bad at it that it ends up just being embarrassing for me, not like clever or witty by any means. I don't even think it's funny. I almost was gonna do it when we were doing the Formula One piece. I did a little bit of hodgy podgy. That was not much. See. All right. Platform top 3 Friday update. I'm missing the news here, you guys. ESport Rally Portugal platform top 3 Friday update. Okay. And then we have our semi-finalist Rally Portugal. We're looking at Sean Johnson against Marco Belusha and Miguel Oliveira. Gosh, that name seems so familiar. And versus Rice Yates. Actually, I think it's all 4 of them, by the way. I don't think it's versus and versus. I'd rather do push-ups than an accent. Miguel Oliveira, because he's the MotoGP rider. That's right. That's why that name sounds familiar. As he is on to Friday night. And the winner was Rseat. There you go. That's what we were trying to get to. There's our final results. Nope, that's their other one. What? I lost myself. There's the Rseat. Yay! Congratulations, Rseat. You're starting to make a habit of this. And then, results of the weekend. ESport WRC round. This is the normal guys. WRC E drivers. This is the teams. Race Clutch in second. Virtual Best Gaming in third. Do we get individual results on that one? Where's our individual results on this? That's what I want to know. All right. All right. Then we have this. Joda Sport. We're proud to announce our collaboration was successful. I think it was successful is an understatement. Sim Racing Team Redline for the Le Mans 24 Virtual. Team Redline compete across a wide variety of sim racing titles. They field a roster, blah, blah, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, blah, blah. This newly formed partnership is a very strong collaboration of expertise from the motorsport world and sim racing industry. We look forward to being on track with our competitors this Sunday for the first official test. Joda, Team Redline. Yeah, that's that's one thing about, and we could almost have a whole topic about that gamer. GMV. Rally racing in real life, I don't think, they don't, how much recon do they even get to do of the stage? Versus in rally racing, we turn it into a hot lap competition where you can do it to a perfection, which is not rallying. In my mind, is that a fair assessment? It would be really awesome if the rally games had a way of randomly changing the course on you. I do my accent, Tom, and no one's ever said that. They drive the stage once to take notes, then go full speed ahead. Is there a limit to the speed? Oh, Dirt 4 tried. Thank you, Billy. Tried. That's a loaded statement. All right, what else? Oh! We're back. We're back to R Factor Formula E. So they had their race at home challenge at that Berlin E-Prix, the newly released track. Broadcast schedule. Watch round 5 of the ABB Formula E Race at Home Challenge in support of UNICEF today. All right, practice. For We Are the Race, Indy. I believe that was. Round 5, watch live. Here we go. And third race at home pole for Van Dorn. And check out Mario Andretti, right? Because they do the legends. Yep. Hold on. They're doing Indy. Gotcha. Willow Springs as an experiment. Jason, what did you say before that? Hey, Jason, what's your attachment to Willow Springs? That's like my home track, I suppose. Dager got the grass done. Well done. Great race from Oliver Rowland as he takes his first win of the Formula E Race at Home Challenge. So that was the one, the Berlin track, the Formula E. Let's come back to that. Keep that thought on your head, on your noggin. E. No more E's or push-ups? Okay. Ooh, ooh. How many people here have driven at Willow Springs? If you've driven at Willow Springs, give me a thumbs up or a... Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you've driven at Willow Springs. Yeah. All right. So we kick things off at the race series. Austin Canapino, Nikki Thiem, Esteban Gutierrez, Charlie Eastwood. All right. Oh, I don't have that Nikki Thiem post. He had a kid. Have you ever driven it, Jason? Are you Southern California guy? Thank you, Tom. Boki, Willow, Mini. And P cars too. That counts. Congratulations to Nikki Thiem. It is post. I didn't have it. I meant to put it on the show. I didn't. He gave his wife credit for doing a 14-hour stint. I thought that was super duper clever. So you've frozen overnight at Willow, Boki. You don't camp at Willow. You endure the wind until about an hour after sunset, and then you freeze. Isn't that the real routine and that's even in the summer. Okay, Jason. Viral, it's in Project Cars 2. I believe it's in variations of Gran Turismo. I know iRacing did scan it in the very beginning. How insane is this lineup? Emerson Fittipaldi, Mario Andretti, Helio Castroneves, Mika Salo, Tony Kanaan, oh man, I can't say his name. Luzzi, David Brabham, Dario Franchitti, Peter Solberg, Fernando Alonso. The list goes on, you guys. Jason Plato, Tiago Monteiro, Scott Pruitt, Jensen Button, Darren Turner, Max Pappas, Tom Cornell, Oriol Servia, Adrian Fernandez, Mario Dominguez, Juan Pablo Montoya, Jan Magnuson, Gil DeFerrin, Andy Priol, Emmanuel Pirro, Michael Jourdain Jr., and Brian Herta. Holy cow. You know, you could charge admission to that race, that lineup. That is super duper badass. Greg, so true in my case. Tom Jones, no. Anyway, what a lineup. All right, so here we go. That's a different race. That's the All-Star Series. It's so confusing with how many they have got going on. Sorry, you guys. Sim Master's not messing around. Rudy Van Buren. I wonder what the lap times. Oh, they're not running the same things. Very smart of them to not have them run the same things. And single screens? Yeah, Streets. Thank you. Streets is even in there. Have you driven Streets? I've raced on both Streets and Big Willow, so to speak. There it is. Van Buren over Bonahui over Simonek. Legends race. We already looked at the lineup. And this is the All-Star Series. Oh, ow, ow, oh, ow, no, no. Why does it keep...
But it looked as though Dario Franchitti has had another big accident on an oval.
More
chaos in the background as well. There's a number of cars heading heavily into the wall. So we've got our first big incidents. The first few laps were very incident-free, very pro. But we've now had huge accident for Franchitti.
and Fernandez, and loads more out in the background. I couldn't see who it was, but now we're getting the chaos. Out front, Button takes the lead back from Alonso. The two old McLaren Formula 1 teammates duking it out, and they've made a bit of a gap.
Shoot, Streets is almost harder. Solberg on the pole for the Race All-Star Series. Solberg over Button over Serbia, Alonso. And look at the focus on Jensen Button.
Plato, Magnus and Serbia right together in that second bunch, as Jolyon pointed out. But this is where it kind of becomes a bit of a...
Yeah, way slower.
Rather than a motor race, when you can see the focus on Button.
Big Willow is one of the fastest tracks
Right behind Alonso,
I think I've ever
but
driven.
still, Mario Andretti is there, right behind them. He's a lap down on the leaders, but he's still enjoying chasing them and running with them.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the job Mario's doing. You know, 80 years.
Okay. Let's see, the race. So all that went on the weekend. I'm getting a little long-winded here, aren't I? We already congratulated George Russell, didn't we? Yeah, it just goes, there's Solberg, there's Jensen Button, there's all of them. Here's your double race winner.
Were you expecting that?
Not at all. Not at all.
All right, so the links for all of this are down there, you guys. It's the F1 series page. I need one now. All right. Your car caught on fire at Streets. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. All right, what else? Okay, so during the Formula E race, this is so priceless, you guys. Before anybody help me out on this one, so we had Bubba Wallace and why can my brain not remember who the other NASCAR driver? So here, Audi Formula E driver Daniel Abt has been disqualified from the latest Formula E race at home challenge, stripped of his points, and handed a €10,000 fine. What? Why? What the hell? What? Abt excluded, fined €10,000 for sim racing imposter trick. Oh, Larson, thank you, Billy. Kyle Larson. I'm going to come back to Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace in a minute. And So, Abt, who originally finished third in the 5th round of Formula E's sim racing series on Saturday, was found to have let a professional eSport racer control his virtual race car for the race. What? Okay. Now, you think about the outrage over words used. Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson. This is cheating on a whole different level, in my opinion. If people are being held accountable for their actions online, I gotta tell you, this one is really pretty low, in my opinion. Anyway, yeah, the money was given to charity, right? Okay, that's great. Now there is another. Somebody had asked. We do, I believe, have the name. Sim racer followed Abt after finding fraud. Blah blah blah. Lost his points. Driver. Blah blah blah. The driver of Audi Sport ABT Schaeffler was 18-year-old Austrian simulator Lorenz Horsing, 6th in yesterday's challenge race grid. What? Is that the name? Horning can no longer compete in the challenge grid. Anyway, that is what went on. What are your guys' thoughts? Yeah, Brad. Yeah, well, the fact, and I don't have a problem necessarily with Bubba and Larson being able to race. If they're able to get a sponsorship, that's fine. The only thing was, what I don't like is how these sanctioning bodies use words like indefinite. I really wish they'd stop using the word indefinite, or go get a dictionary and read up the word indefinite. Suspension. All they have to do is suspend. We've suspended. They can unsuspend at any point. But if it's indefinite, you're going back on your word if you suddenly reinstate. Anyway, I just thought this was pretty low. To me, this is cheating on grand, massive scale. Sure, it's just the online Formula E race, so who cares, right? But at the same time, people have been held very accountable for certain actions. How does this compare? How does this parallel? All right. This is my photo. My thumbnail of the day was this picture. Why? What the heck is this? Man, this is something, the minute I started getting into VR, I thought, wow, I really need smell-o-vision. You know, when you walk into a certain environment, the first thing missing when I got in VR, my brain and my eyes are so tricked when I'm in VR that I am immediately placed into that world. It does a great job, and anybody who's never used VR, I don't know if we give VR enough credit sometimes, because in the good environments of being in VR, it is so immersive that you are really, really, really there. But once I was there, the first thing I thought, yeah, but you know what breaks the immersion? You know what makes me know for a fact that I'm not in reality? Is the lack of those other senses. And one of the first being, well, there are two that struck me quickly when I really get immersed. One is smell, and the other being temperature. Let me give you an example. If you open a door and walk outside into the snow, to me, there's an immediate feeling of cold, and there's also an immediate smell. Like ice has a smell that I really know and can recognize. And so if I was in VR and I opened the doors and it was snowing, it would immediately really help me in it. And again, with it, it's not just the smell. What if there was also a change of temperature? Anyway, university project shows hot and cold temperature change VR research. A recent project by a college student demonstrates a new method of emulating hot and cold sensations while in VR, using a thermal display emitting specific scents that trigger the feeling of a change in temperature. Exactly. So John Hill, if you're playing a slot car game and you're playing it in VR, if it had that same smell, wouldn't it be like the difference between a home run and a grand slam? Most of these games, you really don't want smell. Brad Morrison, can you imagine if you could smell in Half-Life, Alex? Can you imagine how disgusting and horrible it would be? But here's the better part. Can you imagine how much creepier it would be? What about when you went into a dark tunnel, all of a sudden it smelled of mildew and decay, and on top of that, it got cold and damp feeling. I mean, it could get downright scary. And I don't think we're that far off from many of this. I mean, again, I use Ready Player One as an example all the time. And you really want, hey, the Patron Pit Crew guys are running Automobilista in 15 minutes. If you want to join them, head over to the Simpit Patron. There should be a link down below if you want to join in and get in there and run some Automobilista with the guys. So there you go. But yeah, I think that Ready Player One, I think that hot cold, I mean, right now in my own mind, I could already develop that one. They're going a different route, but just working in that direction. And I can see how a certain amount of temperature could be smelt, funny enough. Like I was talking about opening the doors and walking out into the ice. I know the smell of ice. You walk, and it's funny, that smell of ice, I know it's ice because it's Very similar if you're like up in Lake Tahoe and you walk out into the snow, or if you walk into an ice rink. It's a very similar smell. It's the smell of ice. No, but burning tires is a good smell, especially if you mix in a little bit of burnt fuel with it. Well, I think that they will find, like, if you look at color, for example, color can be broken down into a certain amount of spectrums, and then you mix those spectrums to get secondary colors, right? I think that a certain amount of smells could probably be broken down into a rainbow type spectrum, and then you start crisscrossing. Now you might have to start with more iconic smells, and then those secondary smells might not be achievable, or they might be just slightly missing the mark. Maybe in time they would have it so, you know, maybe there's only a limit to how many smells the unit can actually work with, but that you could buy smell packs. So for example, if you were a gearhead and you played a lot of sim games, you would you'd get the nitro, the rubber, the certain amount of carnival smell thrown in, you know, because you want that cotton candy, soda, crappy food smell. Maybe I don't know if there's a human smell, like a 50,000 person smell. But I think now we've just described the smells that are most important to a racing environment. And yeah, new car, if you were doing like Grand Theft Auto, if you were doing Gran Turismo or Forza, new car smell would be easy to do, I'm sure. I mean, if you think about like the hang on your mirror, you know, they have certain smells. They can give you I think that they can mimic smell fairly well. I think it's just a matter of usage. Right now, we argue about getting VR into our games. Building a device capable of something like this when you have very little market for it kind of defeats the likelihood that we'll see it that soon. But again, if you'd run VR, to me, it was so good. VR was so good that I immediately started looking for the things that were breaking the immersion for me. I'm sure it's not easy. And this is just like, again, we're talking about early days. They're talking about just giving you enough smell to tell the difference between hot and cold, really. But who knows where it could go in the not too distant future. I also wonder, delivering smell through your nostrils, to me, is very analog. Will the real reality of smell-o-vision not be analog, but will it be digital, i.e., will they trick your brain into thinking the smell? And could that be done in the not too distant? Will that happen sooner than the ability to digitally or analogly melt chemicals and put vapor into your nostrils? I'm not sure which will happen sooner. I think on a super basic level, and if you design things around the smells available, I think they could play into certain things. I know they could give you strawberry. I know they could give you roses. I know they could give you certain smells very easily as of right now. You know, and if you were to, okay, so I'll give you a different parallel. If you were really wealthy and you wanted to treat this like the old movie industry with like sound effects, you know, and it's like you just think it's like they have all these props to make sounds to coincide with things, and sometimes it really is a car door shutting that they give you the audio of. Sometimes it's completely something that has nothing to do with cars that they think mimics that smell very well. Yeah, Dennis Harris. So if you had a crew of people who could deliver incense drops at the appropriate moments timed with a certain game, you could have that in a very, again, analog version. You just, whether it's manually done by a staff or whether it's done electronically by servos, who knows? But hey, it's one of the next steps. We're gonna need, we're gonna need sensory for touch. We're gonna need smell. We're gonna need temperature. These are the things that we're gonna need to get to that Ready Player One level someday. Well, see, Dave, that's the thing. I don't think you have to have every smell. I mean, there are some smells that, quite honestly, I'm hoping that if it gets super developed to that perfect level, that I like commands on my phone, notifications. I'd like to be able to turn some off, and in my world, the restroom would smell like roses, not like that. James, what do you think that would drive such a conversation? Boki, I agree. See, I think eventually diesel fuel when you're playing. Can you imagine playing the rig games and getting the smell of a cabin environment? All right, that's definitely time to leave that topic. There was a tutorial done. BSim found the video. How to get your custom livery in Assetto Corsa Competizione. So there's a whole video how to create your own livery, step-by-step video. This was done by Boonatix on his YouTube channel. There he is. And so this was found at BSim. You can check it out if you want to know how to do that. Yeah, so Dave, and that could be the future. And I wonder if that'll happen in a much more, now we're getting into that digital version of delivery versus analog, which at 2020, I'm not sure which one we're closer to. Scratch and sniff. Exactly. Yeah, this is not a new thing. Husingfeld is on a roll. Anyway, he just posted another video. This one, how tire slip turns into tire grip. Combined slip and grip explained.
Hey everybody. Oh. That's why you should take me seriously. I wear the correct shirts for these videos. Today...
An engine shirt? Okay. Anyway, check that out if you want to hear a deeper dive into tire slip, mainly looking at combined slip where you brake and turn or turn and accelerate. Tire slip curves you may have seen don't apply in these situations. So there you go. If you want to hear more about that from one of the masters of that, go hear from Niels. Yeah, it doesn't help you be fast at all, Arudes, huh? There are a lot of smells that I think are very much part of racing. And if you didn't have smell, it would be different going to a racetrack than having smell. Because it's one of the things that makes it a very distinct environment. If somebody, covered your eyes and took you somewhere, and even if they put headphones on and they just put you outside, would you know? And I think you would. If you put me around, a racetrack with cars burning fuel and tires running around and I was blindfolded and headphones, I think I'd know I was there. I don't know, James. That is... I don't know. Alright, James asks, what track is that, everybody? It's a UK track. What is it? Donington? I haven't raced at Donington in forever. I think we might have to make our next race at Donington. Yep, that might be it. Well, Boki, again, I think it's up to you. I think that you, in the end, in my perfect version of Smell-O-Vision, I like other settings like Sim Commander, being able to turn on certain effects that you want on or don't want on. I think when you're talking about a smell and something that could actually repulse, some people are very, very affected by smell. Smell can induce, as much nausea as VR can on its own. So I think that you need to be able to opt out of certain smells, and my version of NASCAR would not include beer and farts. All right, Automobilista 2 build 0.9.3.2, so it was a little fix to a fix that they came out with various updates and things like that. The full list over there at Race Department. My buddies are all playing Automobilista like right now, and they all told me that the force feedback has really, really come along, and the game is really feeling good. I got an invite, told them I was going to be live on the show, and then I have other things to do, so I can't run with them today, but I've been told Automobilista 2 is feeling really good. So go run with them, go run on your own, let me know. Check out the full list at Race Department if you want to know. Or maybe what you do in certain things, again, maybe like an equalizer or your sound settings in Windows. Maybe you need to turn certain things up or down. So maybe I do want a little bit of that beer on the ground floor, but I don't want much. I just want a hint of it so I can dial in my own custom Smell-O-Vision. Someone asked about ad blocker not working. So what I tried on this computer had never been used for browsing. So when I fired up Firefox, I thought, all right, well, what'll happen if the only thing I ever search for on it is sim racing? And I spent a week typing in manually all of the stories, all the sites that we go to, whether it be Automobilista or Race Department or iRacing. I would constantly be typing them all in, trying to educate my browser so that it would only show, all it would know about me is that I like sim racing. That's it. So part of this test has been finding out what do they force on you if all. So I'm assuming at this point they know I am, a dude. That's all they know. So the ads or whatever their generic are, I don't know how that works, to be honest with you. Tom, I don't know. That seems pretty invasive for a browser to get that backlog. That means that my IP address is telling them. I don't know. Alright, what else? Cupra announces its own sim racing series. So, digital debut of the Cupra Leon Competizione and Cupra E-Racer. The brand bets on eSport with the creation of the Cupra sim racing series. Cupra ambassadors Mark ter Stegen, Matthias Ekstrom, and Jordi Genet will participate in a VIP race next May 21st. You mean like yesterday? Or Wednesday? So I missed that. Anyway, that went on, I guess. So this is about a week old at this point. We might have missed it. There you go. Alright, sorry. I'm late on that one. It's all in the cloud. Alright, what else? Cribs. Cribs with Lando Norris. Sky Sports F1.
Hi now, welcome to my crib.
Thanks very much.
It's my Renault. She's been out of service for a while now.
At least the colour's on brand.
It's a bit of an off orange. It's lost its papaya-ness. I just broke the middle.
It's not much of a statement from Renault that his car's faded. Looked like a pretty new car.
This is going to be the worst gym room you've ever seen in your life. Full of stuff. Here we've got some ASOS bags. We've got a sofa when I need to lie down. I've got a bed also
It's 7 minutes long. If you guys want to see...
With him when I was in Formula 4.
And how tough has it been to keep fit during the lock?
Play Call of Duty.
I do not play Call of Duty. I look like I play Call of Duty.
It's very 2000-ish.
Here I've got my amazing bits, play games, whatever, basically.
That's what we want to see.
Game on there now.
This is Call of Duty. Play Call of Duty.
I do not play Call of Duty. I look like I play Call of Duty.
Here I've got my amazing number 4 and I just said my number 4. But the only problem is, I didn't stick it onto the wall very well. So I've got this incredible painting that someone made for me. It's holding the whole thing up. If I was to remove this painting, the whole thing would fall down. Then I have my simulator here. So on the buttons,
Okay, so you can find the whole video there at Sky Sports F1 on YouTube. Link should be down there. That one's one that came in late. Alright, we got some sim rigs, then we're going to call it a day. There's a Deathmobile. Look at that. Sub $50 rig, wood and seat. Nicely done by Roy's Destroy. Gotta love it. Gotta love a true Deathmobile. True in the truest sense of $50. $50. This one, Drummer Dude 33, was finally able to snag a G920 kit from the used market. Now for a monitor and DIY rig. Don't mind the setup at the moment. Was just making sure everything worked. So there's his temporary I need a rig setup there. Joa. Tom Jones. That was probably his mom. Who was that with? It doesn't say. Okay, we'll play the beginning. That's got to be his mom, don't you think?
Thanks very much.
it's my Renault. Hi now, welcome to my crib.
Thanks very much.
It's my Renault. She's been outside.
He never tells us. Oh, it's a famous UK TV presenter. Natalie Pinkman? Sky Reporter. Thank you. Oh, because everybody's at home. She's doing at the home.
Service for a while now.
Yeah, you should tell... Everybody should send her an email saying that she should really hook up with Slade Cole. Alright, this one here posted by El Nino. The Nino. His DIY rig. Got the Simpit a bit more dialed in. First real test. His son's driving it. Do we have sound? Where's my sound? Is he playing Live for Speed? He's playing Live for Speed, you guys. See, James, I might not have known what track it was, but was I not pretty quick to identify that as Need for Speed as soon as I heard it? And saw Caterham. Anyway, here's this one. Caps Lock QQ. Just got this and couldn't be happier. $250 on Amazon. That's pretty expensive for it, isn't it? Anyway, there's that challenge cockpit. I've tried those. It's not a bad rig. Not a bad rig at all. Alright. Awesome triple screen. Indeed. Look at those very nicely done monitors. He's got his lighting. Webcam here. Another cam there. Uh-huh. Mingyu Song. Mingyu Song. Is that who posted this? Cause137. But I dare say that might be Mingyu Song. Not sure if you've raced with him before. But that is a slick looking rig. I got it. Tofi, it's time, huh? I need some cool backlighting. I think it's time. We'll have to talk about that, Tofi. Anyway, great looking rig there. That's a really impressive rig, I will say. And that takes us to the Simpit GT3 League. So, our series is coming to an end. We only have one more race. It'll happen this Sunday for our GT League. We're going to take a few weeks off, a couple weeks off, and then we are going to start things out for next season. We're going to move back or to the GT3 cars. So it'll be the whole lineup of GT3 cars, and we will be following the iRacing GT3 series schedule. So, we definitely want to be able to run those practice sessions, those public races. Anyway, signups will begin June 3rd, and the season will begin on June 28th. We're going to do a couple of practice races, and that means that everybody will have a little bit of time off. We will allow returning drivers priority into the new season, and then we will kind of open things up. We got pretty close to filling up. If we have an overwhelming amount of people applying, we might even consider a second tier or second series. But the GT1 series is being converted to the GT3 League, starting up June 28th. Signups begin June 30th, and I will keep reminding you of that in the near future. So that's going to do it for today, you guys. Look at that. No news, nothing to talk about. Here we are for an hour and a half. You know why? Because you guys keep the conversation rolling. You guys just keep it going, and that's what drives the show. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being the stars of the pit stop and making it fun to hang out and just talk about sim racing. Hope you guys have a great week, great day so far. I will be back Wednesday with more. We'll be on Twitch. Hopefully, if all goes well today with my plans today, tomorrow we're going to be on Twitch with part 2 of DIY Formula 1 3D printed wheel. So lots of stuff going on, but it requires me getting off the air today and getting some things done that don't have to do with that project. If I don't free up time, no project. If I free up time, we get to move on to that. So that's going to be the new world order here at the Simpit. Get out there, do some sim racing. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.
Thank you.